A while back, someone left a comment on one of my old videos. Can't remember which exact clip, but it basically said, for creators, the microphone matters more than the camera or the lens. I replied, audio is half of video. And honestly, that line has been living in my head for over a decade. Time moves weirdly, right? Anyway, when I taught digital media, I even had a project named exactly that. Audio is half of video. The whole point was to wake up new creators to how often audio gets ignored. It's so easy to focus on cameras and glass, and forget that most people will forgive a slightly rough image if they can actually hear you clearly. The inverse? People will click away fast if your audio sucks, even if the footage looks gorgeous. I'm not saying microphones matter more than visuals in every absolute sense. Ideally, both should be great. But audio is one of the quickest, most cost-effective upgrades you can make to instantly make your content feel professional. That's why right now I'm purposely filming part of this with a beat-up old camcorder that looks like it belongs in a thrift store. The picture has a vibe, retro, cheesy, but then I switch microphones and suddenly the whole thing feels cleaner and more watchable. You can absolutely have a beautiful image, but if you're listening to tinny distant audio, people will bail. And if you're wondering which side to invest in first as a creator, if you can only upgrade one thing, think audio. A lot of creators blow their budget on a shiny camera and then slap a cheap mic on top and park the camera across the room assuming everything will be fine. Spoiler, it won't. Audio is more than just a single microphone too. Sound design, music, mixing, ambience, all of that contributes massively to how your story lands. It's probably at least half the viewer experience, if not more. So, short version, this video has two goals. 1. Convince you audio is worth caring about. 2. Give you practical, beginner-friendly tips to actually make your audio better, fast. I'm not lecturing sound engineers or Academy Award winners here. These are the things you can do right now without getting overwhelmed. Tip number 1, use a dedicated external microphone. Yes, even if it's tiny. The onboard camera mic is fine for scratch audio. That's the term for reference audio you use to sync later. But don't rely on it for your final sound. External mics come in every shape and price bracket. On-camera shotguns, lav systems, USB mics, XLR dynamic mics, field recorders. You can start with something around $100 and scale up if you want. Even an affordable shotgun mounted on the camera but run on an extension cable to sit closer to the talent will sound way better than a camera's built-in mic 15 feet away. Also, you don't always have to stick the mic on the camera. If you've got an on-camera mic plugged into the camera's mic jack, you can use a longer 3.5mm cable and boom that mic out of frame or put it on a stand near to the person speaking. Versatility matters more than brand names when you're starting out. Tip number 2, keep your camera gain low. This one catches a lot of people off guard. When you plug a microphone into a camera, you can usually control the camera's input gain, how much it amplifies the incoming signal. Cameras, especially consumer and prosumer models, often have weak preamps. What happens when you crank up the gain? You get noisy, hissy footage and less headroom before clipping. Let the microphone or wireless system handle the gain, and set your camera input pretty low. On many mirrorless bodies, that's a single-digit setting, where your audio meters are pegged around 12 dB on playback, is a good baseline. If your camera's meters go red, you're clipping and you can't fix that later. Most mics and wireless systems have their own gain control anyway. Either a little knob on the mic, a transmitter gain control, or an onboard preamp in a field recorder. Learn where to adjust things and aim for clean, consistent levels. If you're not sure, record a quick test and look at the waveform. Tip number 3, mic placement is everything. A great microphone placed badly will still sound bad. Every mic has a pickup pattern: cardioid, hypercardioid, shotgun, omnidirectional, and you need to use the right one for the job. A dynamic vocal mic like an SM7 style mic is made to be close to the speaker. It shines when it's a few inches from the mouth. A shotgun or pencil condenser is designed to be boomed out of frame and reject off-axis noise. Lavalier mics are awesome for interviews and mobility. They clip to clothing and can be hidden, but they're super sensitive to rustling fabric. Learn what your microphone likes. If you want something invisible in frame, use a proper shotgun boom just above the frame, or a lav carefully hidden and tested. If you want conversational handheld work, a wireless handheld or an interview mic makes life simple. And remember, wind and proximity change everything. Use a windscreen outdoors and move the mic slightly if the voice sounds too boomy or too thin. Tip number 4, test and monitor live. Do a test recording every time before you start. Sounds obvious, but it saves hours of regret. I have gear I literally never touch for weeks and still run a quick 30-second test because cables get loose, batteries die, gear updates happen. Plug in headphones if your camera supports them and listen while you record. If you're a solo creator and don't want to wear cans on camera, at least play back the test on decent headphones or speakers, not the camera's tiny built-in speaker, so you can catch problems. Monitoring is also how you catch issues like noise from a cooling fan, hum from a power supply, or clothing rustle on a lav. If someone else is behind the camera, Have them monitor on headphones so they can flag issues while you're still shooting. Tip number 5, edit your audio. Never assume raw audio is perfect. A bit of EQ and light compression can transform dialogue from bland to punchy and consistent. EQ helps you sculpt out boominess and accentuate clarity. Compression helps even out peaks and valleys so the volume feels steady. You don't need a PhD in mixing to start. A small amount of high-pass filtering to remove rumble, a gentle boost in the presence range, and mild compression will do wonders. If you want to go deeper, learn basic noise reduction workflows for removing hiss or background noise, and get comfortable automating levels across cuts so each sentence is comfortable to listen to. Even small tweaks make videos feel far more watchable. Okay, now let's talk workflow, because making good-sounding video is only half the battle. Once you've shot a long episode, a live stream, or a sit-down video with solid audio, what next? This is where so many creators grind. Hours of manual editing, chopping highlights, exporting, formatting for each platform, scheduling posts. That's tedious, and honestly, it's where a lot of creators lose momentum. I want to be upfront here. There are tons of editing tools out there. Some are great for frame-by-frame color grading and advanced effects, but they leave the clip finding and repurposing work to you. Others promise automatic highlights, but either overclip every 2 seconds or miss the moments that actually matter. Some enterprise-level systems cost a fortune and are overkill for solo creators or small teams. This is why tools that help you automatically find the best moments and turn them into short, platform-ready clips are worth checking out. They don't replace thoughtful editing, but they save you hours of grunt work. A good solution should do 3 real things. Identify viral-worthy moments in a long video, let you quickly tweak or batch export multiple clips, and help you get those clips out on a schedule without bouncing between 10 apps. For example, imagine you just finished a 45-minute tutorial where you dropped 3 great one-liners and a demo that will absolutely crush on Reels or Shorts. An AI-powered editor can analyze the whole recording, pick out the emotional spikes and punchlines, and create several short clips optimized for different platforms. Then, instead of manually posting them one by one, the system can schedule them over the next few weeks so your channel keeps feeding content while you work on the next video. And having a content calendar built in? That's the lifesaver because it lets you see what's scheduled, tweak captions, and avoid posting similar clips back to back. Now, I'm not saying every creator needs to hand over creative control to an algorithm. Use these tools as accelerators, as assistants that handle the repetitive heavy lifting so you can focus on the creative decisions, which clips to highlight, which hooks to tweak, how to frame the thumbnail. If you've invested in your audio like we talked about, pairing that with a smart repurposing workflow massively multiplies your reach. Clean sound makes those clips perform better, and automating distribution keeps you consistent, which, let's be real, is the biggest growth lever for most people. A few final practical notes before I go. If you teach or collaborate, keep templates and lesson plans. I used to share my classroom prompts and exercises in a public folder so other teachers could borrow and adapt them, and that kind of resource sharing speeds everyone up. Do quick tests, monitor, and learn the quirks of your gear. And don't let perfect be the enemy of done. Small, consistent improvements win. So yeah, audio is at least half a video. Spend a little time learning mics, mic placement, gain staging, and basic post-processing. Pair that with a workflow that helps you salvage and repurpose your best long-form moments, and you'll be surprised how fast your channel starts to feel more professional and more active. If you want recommendations for tools that help with auto-editing clips, scheduling, and managing a content calendar, I can point you to a few options that I've had good experiences with. They're lifesavers for creators who want to scale without hiring an editor. Thanks for listening to me ramble about sound for a bit. If you like this, I've also got some short guides on quick processing steps and mic comparisons that I can share next. And shout out to everyone who supports creators by watching, commenting, and sharing. Boosts everything. See you in the next one.